Oh. Good. Hello, everybody. Testing. Okay. Sorry, I'm not trying to do my best here, but not under the best circumstances right now. But I just want to get this. I know I need us to do this. Um, but the Vikings, Sunday won against the Green Bay Packers 27-25. It was closer than it needed to be. Like the first game, got out to a very big lead and then almost gave it up at the end. Sam Darnold played well. It was one of his career days, 377, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. I know. I'm just here to entertain you guys. A little recap, but also just like a little preview talking about the next game. And Samantha, you guys have a bye week. I mean, are going to be resting your starters and maybe screwing over the Patriots for the number one, screwing up the Patriots for that number one pick. But Sam Darnold playing great. He had his way against the Packers. The one interception did swing momentum a bit, and the Packers that's how they started their role. But either than that, Sam Darnold played a great game. He slinged it to Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, Addison getting 69 nice yards and a touchdown, Jefferson 92 yards. And then Jalen Naylor, the breakout star of the game, he hasn't really had a good game, a breakout game like this in a while. They got a touchdown, 5 catches, 81. Sorry if I'm a little congested. Again, for the Packers, Josh Jacobs did well on the ground. Did okay on the ground. Well, 69 yards and a touchdown for him, and Emmanuel Wilson 29 yards and a touchdown. So still need to work a little bit on the ground game, especially with Jahmyr Gibbs coming up. No Montgomery, so that's gonna, be advantage for us. But we know Gibbs, he can take on the load himself, but we know he's not gonna be on the field all the time. So just having having that is gonna be, having that for the defense is gonna be good. And talking about the defense only got only 2 sacks. Cashman and Dallas Turner getting a sack, and Dallas Turner is going to be playing a lot more on Sunday against the Detroit Lions because Patrick Jones II is out. Hello, Luke. I should have said Van Ginkel got half a sack, Blake Cashman 1.5 sacks, but it's going to be interesting to see how the Vikings are going to handle the Detroit Lions offensive line. We've been good at getting pressure. We just can't finish the sack, but we can pressure the quarterback into making not so accurate throws like Jordan Love did on that 4th down. That Matt LaFleur decided to go for. So that definitely helped swing things a little early on. But the one that really got things starting off, of course, was the Josh Jacobs fumble on that first drive. That really, Packers want to make a statement. Driving down the field, Josh Jacobs fumbled and Cameron Bynum recovered it. Um, even though we didn't score any points on that first drive. Yeah, I don't know. Take the points. I don't know why he didn't take the points. We'll talk about another call in just a moment. Um, that wasn't by a coach, but it was by the refs. Um, um, but it sort of stalled the Packers um, offensive momentum for that, especially that first half, also third quarter, and um, and it just got them out of their groove. And getting those early turnovers is going to be very key um, going forward for the Vikings. The Vikings are the only team in the NFL who's gotten a turnover on defense in every single game. So I hope we can get another turnover in the game against the Lions. I know their offense is very good, but any turnover will help, and not causing any turnovers by our offense is going to be very key as well. For the Packers defense, however, they only got one sack on us, and that was Carl Brooks. Um, so, I mean, it sort of showed Packers couldn't really get any pressure on Sam Darnold whatsoever. They did a good job on Aaron Jones, though. Only 12 carries, 47 yards. Did have to go out early in the game. Just wanted as precautionary. Um, Cam Akers, decide to come in because we need Aaron Jones for the Lions and the playoffs. So interesting, Luke. I don't know. I don't think it really makes a difference. You know, you want. I mean, you want. If would you rather? If you guys win, would you rather play us or the Lions? That's your choice. You pick your poison. So, um, because you're basically asking, if we win, and it's most likely going to be the Eagles. I don't think Dallas is going to beat the Washington Commanders, but if you somehow beat the Eagles, would you rather play the Vikings or the Lions? Detroit, they need humble more. Honestly, we can agree on that. We can actually agree on that. I don't know. Detroit has just been. Since I'm not feeling the best, I'm not going to go too much in it. And also, we need to play them on Sunday. And even if we do win on Sunday, there's still a chance we can play them in the playoffs. So I'm not going to say what I want to say unless we either go further than them in the playoffs or whatever. But the only thing I want to say is they need, like you said, they need humbling. They acting like some of the fans, like they won the Super Bowl. I try not to. I do not engage in that type of on the stuff on social. What I see on social media and whatever. But there's definitely some that have acted like they've already won the Super Bowl, and they've done very well. They have done very well this season, overcoming a lot of stuff. But um, basically us from last year. The rage and hate towards y'all can come back next year. Yeah, yeah. You're basically us from. I need. And you're basically. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think we sort of have a common enemy at this point, and I just like the Lions are a pain in our sides. I mean, the Packers, honestly, you know, Is it bad I think it's bad. Like it's bad that I now hate the Lions more than the at this point. Like I think I think maybe it's just a this year thing, but it could be just future wise. But I just need a little bit of humbling from them. We're sort of the Lions. I guess you could say. I mean, we are sort of playing that Lions role from last year with playing with the house money, sort of basically. Um, the Vikings were just going on this fairy tale ride and seeing how far we can go. Um, but at the same time, at Lions last year were sort of like that's the goal. The goal last year was to win the NFC North. So we sort of have a little bit of what the Lions were last year, but we didn't have those expectations that the Lions had last year. Last year, like I said, Lions, they could push for the NFC North. This year, but this year for us, while we're also playing with house money, we sorry, we we had no expectations. We literally had no expectations. So, um, but the one thing I think it's sort of, I don't know. I understand 100%. I 100% get that. I want to beat the Lions. You want to beat the Lions. You know, honestly, I'm really just hoping that if one of us can take care of the Lions and then we can play each other in like the NFC Championship game, something like that, that would be good. I would love that. Honestly, my goal was always to have a Vikings Packers NFC Championship game. That would be amazing. Um, but I want Packer. I want so, but we need to. But Detroit needs to be humbled. Um, I'm hoping. Um, um, because it's sort of like Detroit. It's Detroit. I know. I get Detroit. They're very. It's always like Detroit. They're trying to prove everyone wrong. Detroit versus everybody, and you know, I'm like, okay, okay. And but when I see like for the Vikings and Kevin O'Connell in his speeches, like we just got to prove to it's more proven to ourselves. We're trying to prove to ourselves, you know. While Detroit, it's Detroit. We're gonna prove everyone wrong. Detroit and it's Detroit versus everybody. So that's sort of like the little difference I've seen in the Vikings and the Lions. Both have their good they have their cultures and all that, but it's just more Vikings, just trying to prove to ourselves, and Lions, we're just trying to prove everyone wrong. We're trying to prove it to the man. So Vikings, Bills, Super Bowl, who's gonna win? 0-4, 0-4. That's gonna be, yeah. Oh, he's done enough. He's done enough to save it. 100%. You go 14-2, and you go 14-2, and you're having one of the best careers, one of the best seasons, I should say, careers. Sorry, he has 4,153 yards, 35 touchdowns. Think about this. He is only 4 touchdowns away, I think, from either tying or beating the single season touchdown record in Vikings history. Think about that. That is a big stat for him. And he can definitely do that. He can definitely get that against Detroit. 4 touchdowns against Detroit. He can 100% get that. He can 100% get that against the Lions defense. It's going to be a high-scoring game. It is going to be a one high-scoring game for sure. Packers, Bills, that would be something. Packers, Bills would be something. I don't know. Will it be Packers, Bills? Could be. But Bills, I feel very good about the Bills in the playoffs, trying to make the playoffs. I feel like the only opponent that they really need to worry about, of course, is KC. If you guys can beat KC, you guys are going to the Super Bowl. I know Ravens can be tough, and I know they were a problem earlier in the season, but at home, it's a much different environment and game. So I think the only opponent you have to worry about is the Chiefs. And the Chiefs, if they do it again, if they freaking do it again, I'm going to be so pissed. I'm going to be so pissed. I'm going to be frustrated. I mean, I don't know. Sorry. Just ranting. I can't. No 3P. We don't need another 3P. We don't need a 3P. It's great. It is 100% great. It could be. Now the KC could lose on Sunday. Remember that. If Denver beats them. So that's so technically 2 of their 3. But if Denver loses against KC, did I say? I don't know what I said before. I think I got that right. If Denver loses against KC, it's maybe be Miami, or it could be the worst case scenario, which is the Bengals. Now, that would be an amazing game. I know the Bengals are I think it would be a high scoring game between the Bengals and the Bills, but of course that is not a likely scenario, but it's what the fans want. It's what I want. I obviously want that, but I know the Bills have the better chance at beating the Chiefs. Even though history says otherwise, even though history says the Bills right now have the best chance. Bills have the best chance in my opinion, but we'll find out. If the Bengals do not, I think that when the Ravens win, the Steelers are gonna take out starters halfway through the game, and the Bengals are gonna win. Unfortunately, the Bengals Steelers game is not the first game. So it could be a very competitive matchup, but it sort of goes in favor of the Bengals, actually, because the Ravens-Browns game is first. It goes in advantage of the Bengals, because if the Ravens win, then the Steelers really don't have anything to play for. I guess you could say seeding, as right now we look at the ESPN playoff machine, and the Pittsburgh Steelers are the 5th seed, and I think you would want to play the Houston Texans right now, but I don't know. The Miami Dolphins would be the ideal pick for the Buffalo Bills. If it is Miami, I think in terms of that's the easiest. In terms of the best matchups, of course, as I said, Bengals 1, Broncos 2, Dolphins 3. We know it's going to be a blowout. Um, if the Dolphins have to go to Buffalo. So, yeah. Um, Now, one thing, talking about the playoffs, one thing I am worried about, talking about Vikings and playoff history. Sorry, just going back quickly to the Vikings game. Will Reichard missed 2 kicks. One of them was hit off the crossbar. It was like a 57-yard field goal. That hit off. That was a little short and hit off the crossbar. And the other one was like a 40-something yard field goal, and that hit the left post. So he hit the crossbar in the left post. I just hope that we do not have any other kicking mistakes in the playoffs. Will Reichard, don't gain that confidence, buddy. Please gain that confidence. Meanwhile, Ryan Wright is doing great, our punter. So that's just one thing I want to add from that game. But McManus is doing good for the Packers. So there we go. Else? All right, Tim, and the Broncos, but please no Bengals. No Bengals, no. Now, Josh Allen gonna get MVP? I mean, right now I'm leaning toward Josh Allen being MVP, obviously. I know Lamar's trying to get that. If the Bengals make the playoffs, I know people are gonna push for Joe Burrow. Had Saquon Barkley play the final game, this final game, could he be MVP? He could have. I don't think Saquon's gonna be MVP anymore. So I can get behind Josh Allen MVP this year. Only thing that would push me, Josh Allen would definitely be MVP. I feel like the only thing I think you have to take Josh Allen. Only way I can see this getting interesting is if Joe Burrow, if the Bengals go to the playoffs. If the Bengals go to the playoffs, then it could get a little interesting, because then you could say, oh, Joe Burrow, without a defense, led his team to the playoffs and blah, blah, blah. So, yeah. But right now, I'm sort of locked in with Josh Allen. Unless the ultimate crazy scenario happens and the Bengals somehow make the playoffs. So that's sort of where I stand for the MVP race. I consider Allen above Lamar, and then and then we'll see. So in terms of another award, Coach of the Year. Coach of the Year. I mean, again, this is another one that I'm still like dumbfounded that it is a competition. I'm not completely dumbfounded, but like I feel like the way the award has been won, I feel very strongly. I wouldn't be so pissed off if Kevin O'Connell does not win. I mean, trust me, I get the arguments. I've heard it from all the Lions. I've heard it from the Lions. A lot of people in IR. I get it. Here's my argument. and you're still winning games. Here's my argument. I attribute the Lions, in terms of, their um, ability to still find players at the bottom of the barrel, in terms of, I know they also signed like Zadarius Smith and like, they've been trying to, they've been staying afloat and all that. I attribute the Lions, you know, still staying afloat due to um God, um, oh my God, um, Brad Holmes. Brad Holmes. I attribute the Lions' resiliency in terms of their depth, even though they have a lot of people in terms of getting in terms of staying afloat more toward Brad Holmes. That's just my opinion, but people can argue otherwise. Um, KOC right now is the odds-on favorite, but I know a lot of people are saying, depending on what happens in Week 18, if Dan Campbell wins, he should get Coach of the Year. Dan Campbell, he's a great guy. Trust me, I'm not trying to bash Dan Campbell whatsoever. I love, he brings the NFL a lot of clips. He brings in the NFL a lot of clips. He gets a lot of clip-worthy stuff. He's a great guy. He should have got it last year. Now, Dan Campbell should have got it last year. I think that we can agree on. Dan Campbell should have got it last year. But this year, if you Sam Darnold, I know then here's the shitty shitty part about this, because now comeback player of the year, they're trying to change the rules that come back from injury and all that. But again, you go from the literal trash of the Panthers and the Jets, and everyone's laughing at the Vikings for picking up same for Sam Darnold and and all that, and Kevin O'Connell, who I guess now is the quarterback whisperer. D'Amico Ryans. Who did I have? Did I have D'Amico Ryans actually? 1 minute. Maybe it was the year before. No. The Lions didn't make the playoffs the year before. Oh, I did have D'Amico Ryans. Never mind. I did have D'Amico Ryans. My bad. I looked at my video. I did have D'Amico Ryans. My bad. D'Amico Ryans should have got it. Maybe I'm thinking oh no, if Dan Campbell, if he would have made the playoffs the year before that, he should have got it. But I don't see how you don't give the award, at least Coach of the Year, to Kevin O'Connell. He's just done such a great job, and I've met the guy, and he's an amazing guy, and I think he doesn't he doesn't get too. I mean, he keeps a 1-0 mentality for this team. Try not to look too far ahead. Try not to get too crazy high, but also not too crazy low. But I'm just enjoying the moment, 1 week at a time. So that is what we're gonna do. We're gonna try to go 1-0. We're gonna try to beat the Lions, and it's gonna be a battle on Sunday night. But we got to remember this, even if we do not get this number 1 seed, it is not over for us, because As much as this is the most important game, regular season game in NFL history, as much as this, the most important game, important regular season game in NFL history, we still have the playoffs after. So it's not like we're going to be eliminated if we don't win. But yes, it is an important game to get a bye week. Yeah. No, I thought they encouraged this year to. I don't know. That's what I've heard in terms of that after DeMar did not win. Now, DeMar not winning was definitely a very interesting thing to happen. Um, that's a whole discussion in itself. But Joe Flacco winning it, yeah, I I don't know. I mean, I understand. I mean, Demar's now playing great this year, but I know he didn't play much last season. But of course, he's still recovering and all that. But it's whatever. It's people. You know, I don't know. It's a it's a very interesting conversation about comeback player of the year. But do you always have to come back from it? I mean, in that year, it's definitely different. But I don't know where I'm going with all this. Um, but all I know is Sam, comeback player of the year odds right now is currently Sam Darnold is the second highest to win it after Joe Burrow, which I could see that. But Sam Darnold, especially if we win and get the number one seed, yeah, he should win it. He should win it. So, but yeah. But Vikings, if we play the Packers again, it's gonna, we'll see if it plays out exactly like it did. The Vikings need to learn how to close out games. That's all I'm really gonna say. We need to have some time. We need to close it early. We can't play this prevent defense against the Packers. And, there's a good chance we might see them in the playoffs if the Eagles. It's okay. It's okay. It's fine. It's fine. Remember, we got the same goal. One of us is going to take out the Lions. We're going to make a pact. One of us is going to take out the Lions in the playoffs, and we're going to hope for a Vikings Packers NFC Championship game. We're going to shake on that. We're going to shake on that because that's what I want. I want, whether it's you or us. I know, especially you want it. But we're gonna Viking Packer NFC Championship game. That's what we're gonna fight for. Because I've been wanting it for so long. Now, the last time we played the Packers in the playoffs, we were playing with Joe freaking Webb because Christian Ponder got hurt. I want the line. I want the pack. I want the Packers to be our number one. I want to. Yeah, I want. No, Packers are still going to be always up there. But I just, I want it to be. It's always been Vikings, Packers, and the Lions are trying to get in the way of it. So, Little brother needs some praising. Not praising. They already got enough praise. They need a lot of more. They need a humbling. So, um, but yeah, um, I wanna. We're gonna do that. We're gonna try to get home field so that we're gonna do this. I want home field because as much obviously not just for the bye. Also helps playing at home. But I want to do this so that when healthy, hopefully he'll be healthier. I don't know how far along he is, but I know he's just doing some final stuff. But I want Randy Moss to blow that horn. I want him to blow that horn for a either divisional or championship home game. I really, really do. I really, really do. I don't know. Maybe bring Jamie Ertl back. Jamie Ertl divisional game since we've been undefeated since she's blown the horn, and then have Randy Moss for the NFC Championship game. That's what I want. That's what I want. So, but it all starts Sunday night football. Go 1-0. It's gonna be a close game. No, Sam Darnold got to be perfect. Got to be perfect in terms of no turnovers. And the Vikings defense hopefully gets a turnover too. Does their Selly get? We get a Selly celebration just like last week with High School Musical celebration. And then we're gonna win, and then we get that number 1 seed. So that's all I really got. I know I really didn't talk much about the Packers. I mean, I talked about a little bit about the Packers, but Jordan Love only really having a good fourth quarter just because we're playing a little off. We're playing a little prevent there, but Jordan Love, only had a 185 yards and a touchdown. But hopefully we'll see what playoff Jordan Love will bring. So and hopefully we'll see you down the road. So okay, Vikings win 27-25. We'll be going live Sunday night. I'll see you guys for an epic game, and we're going to be fighting for the suit. We're going to find out who the suit fits. So I'll see you guys then. This has been Adam, also known as Minnesota Vikings Man 28. And as always, Skull.